a lot of people have had a lot to say about this game. For me, and welcome Big Espins to today, by the way. How you doing? On principle, I have found Assassin's Creed to be not appealing since Valhalla. I played Valhalla, I enjoyed it for about 4 hours, and then I realized it was not that interesting. The story started interesting, and then it just stopped being interesting. The inclusion of Yasuke as a playable character, 100% political. For brownie points, political brownie points. Assassin's Creed always had the interesting part is that you are a fictional character and you interact with the historical figures. Adding Yasuke as a playable character, 100% the political diversity checkbox. There's no question about that. I would have so much preferred to see a storyline where you interact with Yasuke. You don't play as Yasuke, you play as a samurai and as the Ronin, like whichever one. And then you have a storyline. Like, can you imagine a storyline of Yasuke and Nobunaga? Where you have to figure out, or you have to help Yasuke find Nobunaga, or something like that. Something that gets you to really go for this guy. Content-wise, Ubisoft is very dry, and they have been for a while. I found not appealing since Origins, yeah. Origins was a very interesting twist that they tried to make. They tried to go from the Assassin's Creed formula to the Shadow of Mordor formula without the Nemesis system. Which is very ironic because Assassin's Creed 2 had the a precursor. Yeah, Yasuke would be an amazing side character. Imagine him being an assassin from Egypt that came to Japan and embedded himself into the courts as a servant retainer, but remained in the shadows to combat the Templars that came into Portuguese traders. That is all. You came up with that in 2 minutes, and it's already way more interesting than what Ubisoft cooked up. Like, historically, yes, Yasuke was a retainer/slave to Nobunaga. And Nobunaga liked him. And that would have been so cool. Like, imagine a story... Imagine making the storyline that Nobunaga is a Templar and Yasuke is an assassin. Imagine that. Imagine making that one of the storylines. It's not the main storyline. Or you could even make it the main storyline. Imagine that. It took us 3 minutes to come up with something better than what Ubisoft could possibly imagine. And that is one of my problems. These big companies, they don't know how to do it anymore. They don't know how to do it anymore. And then, of course, is the numbers. People are saying that the game is a massive success. Assassin's Creed Shadows. They don't hire fans or historians. Evidently not. And that is costing them a lot. That would also fit since Nobunaga worked a lot with the Portuguese that gave him the means of conquest. There you go. It took us 5 minutes to come up with a better storyline for Yasuke than what Ubisoft cooked up for him. I want to point out that you said Yasuke for brownie points. That's racist. Well, it's because I can't say the actual word now, can I? Same with movies, TV shows, and other games. Yeah, and it's not necessarily a AAA thing. It's a Western thing right now, because we are and it's not just Western AAA. Warhorse Studios. It took them 7 years to make Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 after releasing Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 is a brilliant game. It has its flaws, but there you go. What is the middle initial of my username? Jesus Christ. Okay. So we, back to the point here, right? Ubisoft claims, how many players do they say? Players? Million players? How many million players do they say they broke out? 2 million. Up to 3 million players. They say 27% of the purchases are on PC. I am inclined to believe that a third of those are Steam. A third of those are Steam. So if we do a percentage calculator, it's an Eastern thing as well. Chinese push a lot of their propaganda in their games, etc. But we are not as perceptive to that because we don't know the history and symbolism when it off. That, and also the fact that they push it, usually because the Chinese are a lot better at this, they are a lot more subtle about these things. And whenever they are blatant about it, they make it good. Because it's not a matter of whether or not you are blatant with your messaging. Because there are games with some really blatant political points that they make and that you explore and that you push and that that you can clearly see the bad and wrong. The one that everyone points out all the time, Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid easily could be translated into Bush Bad Simulator. Middle East War Bad Simulator. Military Industrial Complex Bad Simulator. But why do people love it? Because it's still cool. It's still a really good, really well-written game. Of course, there are people that are not... Like, if you would talk to film buffs, they're not gonna like it, but most people who played the games, they are gonna love it. They love it in the whole video. I'm one of them. So, let's... Jesus Christ, why can't I have... Oh. Okay, we have 64,825. And from a Chinese friend that they are not that subtle. She was surprised a lot of people didn't notice it more of those. So then it could be a cultural difference type of thing. But you have the Chinese, but then you have the Japanese, who are... I mean, right now Capcom is in a renaissance. Because Capcom did have a couple of real bad years. Like, they Ubisofted for quite a while. And now it seems like they've got themselves back up. So... yeah, we just don't know what we're looking at. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Let's see. So. Oh fuck. No, hang on. It's rule of 3. It's not percentage. It's rule of 3. Can I please get a website? No, we're getting flashbanged. Okay. Okay. So. We have 27. No, 27. I need a calculator. Windows, please. I hate Windows so much. I just want the calculator. Alright, where's my calculator? Here we go. So, 64,000 times 3 is 194,475. So, 27 is to 194,000. Let's run it up to 500. Let's run it to 195,000. In 100, that it would be to 100. We're going for Propaganda check, Dragon Age, Veilguard. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright. This brings us to... If the Steam DB, which is the active users playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, 64,000 is their peak. If we extrapolate that to PC and we say only a third of the PC players are playing on Steam and the other 2/3 are playing on Ubisoft Connect, that leaves us with an approximate 195,000 players playing Assassin's Creed Shadows on PC. in different methods. If we extrapolate that, 27% is 195,000, 100% is 720, let's say 725,000 players, 730,000 players. They are claiming 3 million players. I believe Ubisoft is lying. I need to pause the music. I'm getting way too distracted by the music. Wall of text. I know, right? Japanese put stuff in there as well. Every anime, the Japanese are on top of the people, overcome the US in one way or another. Every sports anime, the end goal is to beat the US team. Yes. Every comic anime is to have the American that gets owned. Oh, yes. Fuck Gate had a plot line where the Japanese ranger, who are dog shit compared to most special forces around the world, just owning the US stealth force. Yeah, I love that in Gate. Yeah, no, and they are very blatant about it, but you know what they also do? They make a good story. And when you have a good story being told, even if there's propaganda, you'll be like, silly Japanese, but it's still a good character, though. So most people won't play it on Steam because they can get a really good discount on Ubi Store. Yeah, they are claiming 3 million players. Player milestone. They claimed 2 million players. They did not claim 2 million. They are claiming 3 million players now. The number I saw was 2 million players. That was the wording that they used. Not 2 million sales, 2 million players. That's what they claimed. Because here we go. Here was the post. If it loads. So, is it included in Ubisoft subscription? Yes. Which I think is what inflates the, would inflate the numbers a lot. I am willing to believe that there's 2 million people subscribed to Ubisoft. 1 million people subscribed to Ubisoft. Come on, Twitter, load, please. Dude. Excuse me. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. Should I turn off? I have them turned off. Let's try this again. Ubi subscription also half the price of the game anyways. Ubi is $20 a month. Alright. I thought you were gonna link me the post. Okay, here we go. Over 3 million players for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Second highest day one sales revenue in Assassin's Creed franchise history. Biggest Ubisoft day one ever on PlayStation Digital Store. We don't have the numbers for that. Best community ever with over 40 million hours already played. They told, I think it was IGN, that 27% of players are on PC. And I already extrapolated. 64%, I am willing to say, is 1/3 of the player base on Steam. On PC. That gives us the number, the highest number of players, to be about 750,000. I have a Ubisoft account. I haven't used it in a while though. X has issues. Yeah, no, X always has issues the first time I load it in, so that's fine. My point here is, so they say players, they mean games sold. No, Jeppy. They say players so that they can be vague and we don't know whether it is concurrent players, total sales, current sales, or any other metric. They are not giving us any specific metric. They are being vague about it so that they can lie. I believe Ubisoft is lying about these numbers. If it's 3 million copies sold, I can believe the peak player count being 750,000 players at any given time, with it going down afterwards. Infinite, no, but Ubisoft would never lie. Welcome to today, how you doing? Yeah, I know, right? And the big problem right now is that the discussion about it has been so polarized, because you have the chuds that will say, no, it's a 1 out of 10 game, which, no. I know what a 1 out of 10 game looks like. It's not this. It's not this. Ubisoft does not make 1 out of 10 games. Ubisoft makes 5, 6, 7 out of 10 games. At best, they hope for a 7 out of 10 lately. The last game that was really good, Black Flag. Black Flag, Watch Dogs, 8, 9 out of 10s. I would say. Like, Watch Dogs probably like closer to a 7 than it is an 8. Black Flag, closer to an 8 than it was a 9, but still really cool, really fun, really enjoyable experiences. Far Cry 3 and 4, really fun. I didn't play 5. Far Cry 3, I would say a 9 out of 10. Far Cry 4, 8 out of 10. So they were capable of doing that, and then they fell from grace, and now they are in the 6s, maybe a 5 with like Star Wars Outlaws, maybe a 5, definitely a 5 or a 4 with Skull and Bones. They don't make 1 out of 10. You want to know a game that was a 1 out of 10? Right to Hell Retribution. This is a 1 out of 10. This game is a 1 out of 10. This is one of the worst games to ever be released in the history of mankind. This is 2/3 of the gameplay. A janky, side-scrolling, like going side-to-side motorcycle. It was for the Xbox 360. Horrible shooting, horrible mechanics. It did not handle well. Worse than Garfield is E.T. The E.T. game is a 1 out of 10. This game is about 1 out of 10. Like, this game barely even functioned. It ran horribly. It crashed all the time. The lines were super badly recorded. The story was awful. Everything was badly acted. So, this is a 1 out of 10. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a 6, 7 out of 10. Depending on who you ask. Well, the worst of the interpretation would be players' total with UB subscription included, which is, I would believe being 3 million. Yeah. And then like it's once again, let's close this. Once again, we're talking about them. Why do I have 2 windows of this open? Inflating the numbers, and that's why they're using the player term instead of specific, because you know what they posted, where is it? Let me just go on X and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Let me open it in a new fucking window, please. Come on. Really? Do I really? Okay. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And we have somewhere around here. This is probably one. I do want to talk about this. This is so scummy. This is one of the scummiest things I've seen in a while. But they had, when they launched their post. No. Patch 1.2. Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Come on, dude. I'm glad you're promoting your game, but just give me the fucking... Oh my god, come on. It's somewhere around here. It's 2 million copies sold. 2 million copies sold. And the game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 peaked at 256,000 players. Granted, Steam was the only player. No, I think Epic Game Store as well. Ubi's making 5 to 7 out of 10 games, but we expect more because remember 9/10s. Yes, and we should expect more. You used to be able to do that. I blame Elon. A joke. This is not starting the entire discussion. Although Elon did get ratioed on X by AC person. That was funny. That was funny. That was a funny thing. To me, it felt like, oh, dude, they're both being so petty. That's hilarious. UB uses the term activations because of the subscription model used as well. Exactly. And that goes back to my point of Ubisoft is being dishonest about this. Because they know. They know. We already have the news by now. Ubisoft is doing the partnership with Tencent. They are opening a separate studio under Tencent. So Assassin's Creed Shadows, this is one of the most nightmare scenarios that you can have as a developer. This I actually kind of feel bad for the developers for. It did not matter how well your product did. It didn't matter how well Assassin's Creed Shadows performs. It didn't matter in the end of the day. This studio is gonna get sent over to Tencent. To people that actually know how to make games. Because Tencent, we can criticize them all we want. They know how to make good games. They know how to make games that people play and enjoy. I don't like a lot of things about Tencent. They know how to make a good game. They know how to get a studio to make a good game. And now we're going to see this with Assassin's Creed. Also, don't forget how many buy it for shits and giggles and then refund for Shadow. That is also a possibility so that people can leave a bad review. But in this case, we are seeing with Ubisoft something far worse. Assassin's Creed is probably the biggest shitstorm they've had. But last year, don't forget, last year Ubisoft released 3... How many games did Ubisoft release in 2024? 2024 latest releases. Let's see, from Ubisoft themselves. Please. Yes, they had. Oh my god. Okay, no, I just need a list, please. List of Ubisoft games, please. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. 2024. There we go. Thank you. Oh god, no. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Tencent makes a lot of slop as well. It's survivorship bias to say that they know how to make a good game. By the way, Tencent has a hands-off attitude with game devs. They let their artists make the art. And I think that's what gives me the bias. That's a good point, by the way. And that's what gives me the bias. Because I believe that Tencent will allow the studio to do what they want. Because I can guarantee you, the Assassin's Creed team, for damn sure, the original team did not want to make Yasuke a main player. A playable character. The lead team absolutely must not have wanted it. They were finally getting an Assassin's Creed in Japan. They were going to go bonkers, and then they got interference. I think Tencent will allow them to do that, and now we're going to see. Because this one is going to be a partial thing. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But yeah, the games that I'm going to remember. Last year, because these lists are useless, last year, Ubisoft released Skull and Bones, Star Wars Outlaws, and the Avatar game, the James Cameron Avatar. You know what those three games had in common? When it came to the chuds? They got something far worse than hate. Something far, far worse than hate. And is one of the reasons why the games media was not able to save these games. Because they got people's indifference. Assassin's Creed, I would say it's because of the scandal after scandal that they've been having, especially with the Japanese people and the disrespect they've displayed. I am disinterested. I find the scandals amusing. I find it entertaining. But I'm not interested in the game. And I haven't been for a very long time. Like, the game got announced and I was not interested. Let's see. I would love them to make a disgraced Ronin who served Nobunaga that had to learn the way of the shinobi after Tennoji. That would be so cool. And I think if Assassin's Creed had been left to their own devices, without Ubisoft fucking them over, we would have seen something like that. And we would have probably seen that 10 years ago. After Black Flag. I mean, after Black Flag, I was expecting a whole more games, but they started Ubisofting, and that's the thing. And we go back to the point, right? We are seeing right now Assassin's Creed be the forefront of the culture war. You have the chuds saying that this is a 1 out of 10, and then you have the wokes saying that it's a 10 out of 10. What was it? Here. It is real. Oh my god, it's real. Assassin's Creed Shadows review, a brilliant return to form from Top Gear. From BBC's Top Gear, the car channel has a review of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And this review is going to be read very similarly to something you would see on Polygon or Kotaku or IGN. Maybe not IGN, not anymore, since they've been restructuring a lot. But all of these major publications. This is not good for Assassin's Creed. Because this, and all of the praise they're giving it, and everyone saying that leave the billion-dollar company alone, all it does is sink these people further. Top Gear hasn't been a car channel since Clarkson, Hammond, and May left. Then they should have rebranded. They really shouldn't. This is one of the issues, right, with these things, that they're trying to do the skin suits, because anyone that hasn't kept up with Top Gear, that knows of Top Gear, will hear Top Gear and they will think the car channel. It's like when what's it called, bought machinima and tried wearing them as a skin suit. These corporations will try that. And my point, let's see, lots of Japanese people scandals were fake, by the way. Some of them did actually happen, but a lot of those were just Americans Google translated the messages. I'm not talking. No, you're talking about the angry comments. I'm talking about the big ones. You know, the ones that got brought up to the Japanese fucking parliament. A lot of them. And there were a lot of like pieces of disrespect that were very evident. Those are the ones I keep up. I don't usually read Twitter for gaming drama. Which is kind of a waste for me, because that's a very heavy source of entertainment. But yeah, these glowing reviews have as much credibility as the chud review bombs, which is they don't. But the developers and these people who are in this bubble will only believe the reviews that are glowing. They're gonna fucking highlight it, and they're gonna show you, oh my god, look at this. 5 out of 5 by VG247, 87 out of 100 by GameStar, 5 out of 5 by NME, 17 out of 20 by some French who likes to count to 20 instead of 10. 5 out of 5 by Mirror Gaming. 95 out of 100 by Digital Chumps. 4.5 out of 5 by TRG. 100 out of 100 by Gaming Trend. 9 out of 10 Game Rant. 5 out of 5 Eurogamer. 9 out of 10 by Gaming Bible. 95 out of 100 by Noisy Pixel. How much do you want to bet that all of the reviews read the exact same? That they're basically copy-pasted. All of these reviews. And that none of them will address any of the issues that the game has. I'm willing to bet an entire Hungarian forint. The one that brought in Parliament was using architecture without permission, but it cannot forbid people from using the look of public places. Yeah, that one's one. And there were other ones, like the ones that, you know, they used Chinese dragons instead of Japanese dragons, like the art style. Hungarian what? Forint. That's the currency of Hungary. If Ubisoft could use the European churches, it's only fair that they can use architecture from other places as well. And that is fair. The problem was that they were using a lot of Chinese symbology in the Japanese one. For example, the mount, the pre-order mount, which Assassin's Creed Shadows pre-order mount. Pre-order mount, yes. This one This one over here. This is not based on a Japanese dragon, it's based on the Chinese lion. The dragon was a difference of a single claw on the legs? No. No, you missed the point there. The dragon is not that it had 3 claws. Like, that was a, that's a Chinese kitten. Yeah. On a game that takes place in Japan. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. And this is not the first thing. You know, they had the whole thing with the destroyed gate. Like, there were a lot of things. And I don't want to hyper focus on any one of them because I'm not talking about any specific instance. I'm talking about all of them in general. That they are going to ignore all of those, all of that criticism, and they are going to stay in that bubble, and they are going to just listen to the people that told them, you are doing fantastic, you are doing great, this is the best game ever, this is better than anything I had ever played in my entire life. In this channel, we call that toxic positivity. And it is one of the worst things that you can do to a person. In my opinion, it's one of the worst things you can do to somebody. That is marketing, yes? Yes. And fair to them. But the problem is, this is not gonna stay just external. And this has not stayed external. This is going internal for them as well. They are only going to believe that because how many times have we seen now a AAA developer having to explain to the investors why they are not doing well despite the glowing reviews from the reviewers? It's not just marketing. They are believing it. And they're choosing to believe it because they have engaged in this culture of toxic positivity. An echo chamber? Yes, echo chambers of toxic positivity. And toxic positivity is one of the worst things you can do to somebody that you would claim as a friend. I'm making a lot of assumptions. Yes. I am assuming that Ubisoft is run by people who believe the reviews, and my evidence for this is that the games have not improved in well over 10 years and have only continued to get worse because there have been no criticisms that they have taken on board. And they just keep making grave mistake after grave mistake after grave mistake. You don't do that if you listen to the criticism. If you listen to the criticisms of people, you end up... this is why I refunded Avowed. Avowed is another case of a studio that... Okay, Avowed is a different case. Obsidian is brilliant at making games. They are horrible at building game engines. Bethesda is great at making modding platforms. They're not good at making games. I'm assuming that Ubi is run by money-grubbing people who believe that making the games this way is less costly and still brings in profit. That's EA. That's EA. You're thinking about EA with their sports games. If Ubisoft was doing that, they would be doing what EA is doing. They would be... I mean, they have Rainbow Six, which is probably what has kept them afloat for so long. Side note, Hungarian foreign looks cool. Wouldn't mind collecting some. It's so devalued. It's so devalued. What is it right now? $1 is 372. Oh shit! It went down. It went down. Oh, I get more dollars for my forint. Yes, 372 forint make $1. Every big publisher does that with their games. They are listening to the person with a spreadsheet, not the person with a vision. And the person with a spreadsheet is going to come in and they're going to listen to the marketing person. And the marketing person is going to listen to the critics. And the critics right now for these, and this is not a and I don't think the corporation is entirely to blame here. I think the culture war is to blame here because these game publications, the game stream media, I'm going to call it, they have spent so long engaged in this culture war where they are driven to a mission to kill gamers, to not kill gamers, to end gamers, that they will sacrifice anything and anyone that they need to. Marketers will tell the critics what they need to think. It's an Ouroboros. It's like a double Ouroboros. So it's a catch-22. At this point, is it the marketing person that tells the critics what to think? Or is it the critics that tell the marketing person what to think, and they just keep giving themselves the same feedback over and over? Because they just keep copy-pasting the same messages to one another. So, yeah. Do y'all have any silver coins at all? I don't think these are silver, because I do have some, like I have this 100, like I have one of each over here, and I have like a 5 for it. This where the owner refused to explain why. Have a good day. All right, Baldwin, thank you for your contribution to the conversation. So let me close this point and then I'll get into the Hungarian Forums, and then we're going to play some Alan Wake. So marketing person's job is to be very positive. They are, by job definition, should be required in a positive echo chamber. Absolutely. Absolutely. Long term, though, yeah, the marketing person is not the one that needs to implement this. This is the product managers. The product managers, the ones that have to implement the criticisms. You work in marketing. Yeah, no, you're completely right there. You're completely right. I'm oversimplifying the structure here. Because, yeah, marketing's job is to be as positive as possible about the product, which is, this over here, which I am going to say I don't believe them. I don't believe Ubisoft has a 3 million players for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't believe them. I believe they are inflating their numbers and they are being dishonest about it. That's what I believe. Do I have evidence? No, which is why I just believe it. I'm not making the outright claim, but I believe they are lying. I don't believe them when they are releasing these numbers. I can absolutely believe that they are having very high sales, that they are having a lot of people play the game, because, a good chunk of the player base is PlayStation, and they have fuck all games to play. So Assassin's Creed finally coming out, of course everyone's going to play it, because what else is there to play on PlayStation? But that's besides the point. So they're probably using real numbers, just the ones that are the most positive for them. No, I think they're lying. They are in a desperate enough situation, and they are so deep in the hole that I don't think it could get that much worse, so I think they're just resorting to lying. I have no evidence. That's just what I think. Because this makes very little sense for me. Again, we extrapolated the numbers, and concurrent players, 700 at most, 700,000, which, yeah, could mean 3 million players have activated the game, which means they have a couple of million people in the subscription. Like, there are ways that this can be bent and folded. Okay, let me revise. They are not lying, they're not being truthful. That I think is more accurate there. You are underestimating the brand power of the Assassin's Creed series. Oh, no, I'm not. I was in France a couple of weeks ago. We did not go more than 5 minutes without seeing an Assassin's Creed Shadow poster. We saw more Assassin's Creed Shadows posters than we saw people with baguettes. It was insane. And that was just in the handful of blocks in Paris that we were in. It's insane how much money they sunk. I don't think 3 million players is going to would be enough. And it's not, because they're doing the Tencent deal. So looks like the 1800s to early 1900s were the last silver coins, post nickel, aluminum. Yeah, no, most of the coins are not silver over here. So, like, I do have a couple of, like, historical coins, but those are play Assassin's Creed, play Shadows no matter what, just because it has Assassin's Creed in the title. Yeah, and we call those consumers. Yeah, and it's fine if you have that, and yeah, that's your choice. It's your money, it's your time. I think it's a bad idea, but yeah, they didn't like the last 3 AC games, but they still play Shadows. So yeah, it's the Call of Duty crowd. Because at this point, don't forget, Assassin's Creed is one of the major brands from the 2010s. Call of Duty, FIFA, GTA, Assassin's Creed. Those were like the big four. Those were the big four of the 2010s. Like to the late 2000s, early 2010s. Those were the big four. Every year you would get massive sales. FIFA, Call of Duty, GTA are still up there. Assassin's Creed fell off. As for coins, silver ones in Hungary are probably limited edition collectibles issued by the mint. Yeah, probably. Like, those are probably sold as collectibles. So, yeah, anyway. COD fell off major. No, COD failed to live up to itself. COD became a very, very much a shell of its former self. But do you know what it still has? Players. Let's see, Call of Duty, what's the latest one? Black Ops 6? I think Black Ops 6 is the latest one? No, it's not Black Ops 6. Is it Modern Warfare 2? Modern Warfare 2... Modern Warfare 3? Oh god, there's so many of them now. Fuck it. No, what was it? The Warzone. Really? 29,000? No. This is just a review, so we don't have the numbers. Either way, Zombie. Yeah, they had Black Ops 6 is the latest one, right? Black Ops 6 is the latest, and that is not really what they do now. Like, they have the Battle Royale, and that's it. Because the game that replaced Assassin's Creed was Fortnite. Yeah, Warzone is the online Battle Royale, which I think the reason why we don't have it here is because it's you play it on their launcher, I think. So I don't have the numbers, but it is unquestionably one of the largest games right now. To the point that they have, how many collabs do they have? Like, it's like Snoop Dogg, John Cena, freaking Star Wars. Same with not Star Wars, Warhammer. Like, they have all of these skins, Diablo 4, all of these major franchises are getting their cut of their pie from Call of Duty because Call of Duty is that much of a massive. Is it the same Call of Duty that we loved as kids? Like us who played the Modern Warfare 2 1? No. Is it one of the most successful franchises to ever exist? Yes. And it's because of Microsoft, partially? Yeah. And they've been able to monetize and exploit their success. Because the other game that was competing against them back in the early 2000s was Battlefield. And Battlefield fumbled. They fumbled bad. Call of Duty kept getting tens of millions of sales every year. Plus microtransactions. FIFA gets tens of millions of sales every year. Plus microtransactions. GTA has been running on microtransactions for well over 10 years. Assassin's Creed has failed to keep up. These numbers are so wrong. Modern Warfare Live player, online players, 131, 35,000 active players, 30 days, 42 million, what's the 42 million for though? Oh, 30 days, 42 million players. So yeah, I don't get why it's so popular, but I cannot deny it is. It's fast-paced action, mindless fast-paced action, and it's competitive. And it is one of the better competitive games that requires relatively little skill. That's why, because it's accessible, it's competitive, and it's fast-paced. So it has a lot of that dopamine. There's also then the other modes, like, the zombies and all that kind of stuff. But in general, that's mindless gaming, any Muso game. There you go. COD's main downfall is two things IMO. First, the hacker issue. Second, the pay to win. Yeah. And despite that, they are getting millions upon millions of sales every single year. Because despite those issues, people still come back for the new one. Why? Because it is engaging enough for them. it's not for me really. Like I played a little bit of the Cold War with a friend, and we had a lot of fun. Played a little bit of the PvP for Modern Warfare 2. It was okay. It's, not my thing anymore. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm too old for that, because it's not a matter of age. It's just not my thing. But it's that I can see that FIFA. FIFA. It's FIFA. That's like the Latino. It's like the Latino thing. Like, you could be the most jock Josh guy out there, Latino version. He's gonna have a PlayStation with FIFA. He's not a gamer at all, but has a PlayStation with FIFA or an Xbox with FIFA. That's it. Like, every freaking household. I don't know why I didn't swear there. Every household in Latin America that is above the poverty line has a PlayStation with FIFA. And if it's below the poverty line, it's every third household. FIFA is another series I hate. I hate what they did with it. Yeah. And the thing is, I'm from Latin America. I played the shit out of it with my friends because it's a social thing. You gather your friends on a Friday night in your neighborhood and you do a FIFA tournament every week, and that's that. It's a lot of fun. It's engaging. It's rage-inducing, and it drives the sales, because then you get the FIFA every year, because then you keep up with the actual sport. So yeah, no, FIFA is a series that it's one of the biggest series in the world. Then you have Fortnite nowadays, which is Battle Royale for kids. League of Legends, which is League of Legends. I hate it because in Poland, the main player base is basically brainless football hooligans that play it drunk and pick fights with people. Yeah, that's basically everywhere else. That's their player base, and they capitalize on it. Since its October 2024 launch, with some sources reporting loss of nearly 50% of the player base for Call of Duty, it makes sense. Makes sense. And despite that, it is still one of the largest, biggest games in the world. Despite that. And Ubisoft has not kept up. And they have had chance after chance to keep up. And they simply haven't. Yeah, with that, I think good conversation. We got some good content for the YouTube channel. I'm going to go take a piss real quick. And then we're going to boot up Alan Wake's American Nightmare. So give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. And then we're gonna boot up Alan Wake. Launch dance 3rd of April doesn't work. It's things EOA probably. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.